All right, we are back. I do appreciate everyone's patience on that. I believe we've worked out the logistical issue and we do have everything set up correctly on this webinar. I do appreciate everyone taking the time to come on today's webinar presentation where we'll be talking about a new product from Guggenheim called the Highlander Indexed Annuity Product. We are fortunate enough today to have someone from Guggenheim that's going to be presenting this new product to us. His name is Travis Scott and he works for Guggenheim. Just a little bit on today's overall agenda and setup for this webinar. All attendees are in listen-only mode on this webinar presentation. That is designed to eliminate background noise and everything like that. If you do have a question throughout the webinar, feel free to post the question. What we're going to do is have a question and answer session at the end where we can answer as many of those questions as possible. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Sean Brink. I'm the Annuity Sales Director here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Just a little bit on the overall agenda. We are going to take just a few minutes here at the beginning of today's webinar and talk about a few of the things that Insurance Agency Marketing has been doing to help agents increase their sales for annuity and life production. That's only going to take about the first 5 to 10 minutes at the most of this webinar presentation. Then I will be passing the reins over to Mr. Travis Scott, who will be talking about the absolute details, meat and potatoes, bells and whistles of this new indexed annuity from Guggenheim. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Sean with Insurance Agency Marketing. I do welcome everyone who is in attendance today for this new product. Just a little bit like I said on Insurance Agency Marketing, for those of you that may not be currently with us, but are maybe on this webinar to explore us out a little bit, we do have a 3-tiered new producer bonus program for those of you that might be considering coming on board with us or are newly contracted. If you reach the $100,000 level of index annuity sales within the first 180 days of being contracted with us, you will qualify for the $100,000 level new producer bonus, whereas you can see on our screen, we can get you an additional $750 in cash incentive. That's above and beyond the normal street level commission that we pay out. So I just want to make sure everyone knows that we do have that available. If you choose not to claim the $100,000 level, instead waiting for the $300,000 or $500,000 level, you can see that the awards do grow exponentially. So I just want to make sure everyone knows that we do have that program in place as an additional thank you for agents who choose to come on board with us and do business. We just found out about this earlier this week. We now have our Top Producer Escape trip scheduled for next year in 2018. The qualification period has started July 1st, 2016 through December 31st of 2017. It is going to be $2 million of annuity premium to qualify you for Scottsdale, Arizona. That's an all-inclusive resort out there, so it's a great going to be a great time. We do cover all the costs. And for those of you that may have been on some of our past Top Producer Escapes, you would, I'm sure, agree that we do spare no expense in treating those who send those level of production to us. So it is going to be in Scottsdale, Arizona in 2018 in February, which puts the weather perfect out there at that resort. So did want to make sure everyone is aware of that. That is available. So we are currently in the qualification period, and we do look forward to seeing as many agents qualify as possible. Just real quickly, we do have an in-house creative department. I don't know if all of our agents are aware of that, but it is in-house. We don't outsource the creative services that we offer here at Insurance Agency Marketing. If anyone's interested in any sort of print marketing, radio, television advertising, online advertising, social media advertising, just give us a call after the webinar or call in anytime and ask for someone in our creative services department. I can get you over to one of our in-house specialists that do help with this. As you can see on some of the prices we have listed, these are much reduced if you are contracted with us than what you could go do if you went and did this independently with a publicity station. So I did want to make sure everyone's aware of that. We do have that in-house. Just a little bit on our insurance email newsletters. We also a part of our creative service department. I don't know if anyone is interested, but we do have now email and newsletter services and website development services through our creative department as well. Additional information. It looks like they are offering a 30-day free trial right now. Just feel free to contact us and we'll get you over to our creative department in order to get you set up on that as well. This one is important. I did want to make sure everyone is aware that we do offer a 2-day trading academy, a couple times a year usually, where we help agents learn additional ways to increase their annuity and life production. And these are all expense paid. So we do cover the flight costs, hotel stay, meals for those that attend. 2 days of pretty intense training. We also have a little bit of fun within there as well. But the agents have attended these in the past. We have seen quite an increase in their production after the training based on the information they receive at these training facilities. There should be a poll question on your screen. I would ask that you answer it if you have not already done so, just so I know who would be interested in getting information on our next Life and Annuity Training Academy. The dates have not been finalized. However, we are looking around the April-May timeframe for the first one of this year. We usually don't start them until the snow has melted a little bit for those that need to travel in. So we do have the next one tentatively for the April-May timeframe, and we'd love to get you more information on that. Just let us know, and then once we get those dates solidified, everyone who marked yes on that poll question that should be on your screen, then we can go ahead and get you a registration form and all the additional information so you can make an informed decision as if it's something you might be interested in participating in. Again, these are all expense paid. There would be no cost for you to attend other than the time you take out of the field in order to stay for 2 days and get this training. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll question in about 3 or 4 more seconds. So if you haven't marked yes or no, I would encourage everyone to do that. And that way we'll have a good idea of who wants more information. All right, I will be closing that poll question now. Thank you, everyone, for answering that. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next slide. Just so everyone's aware, we do have a paperless contracting system in place. I'm sure everyone's familiar with the old way of contracting with marketing organizations. If you're interested in a carrier for your business, we send you the contracting paperwork for that carrier. If you're interested in more than one carrier, we have to send you multiple contracting paperwork. It's a lot of redundant work. We're now on a paperless contracting system. It's just one contracting kit for as many carriers as you wish to come on board with us for. And the nice thing is, once you've completed that contracting, online contracting, we have you on file. So if later on you need to add a carrier, it's just a matter of letting us know over the phone, and we can add that all in-house. You don't have to fill out new contracting every time. So it does save a lot of time for those in the field. Just want to make sure everyone is aware that that is available for those that are interested in contracting with us, or maybe those are already on board with us for future use. We now have a paperless contracting system in place. Just a real quick shout out on our website. You guys are always welcome to call in, and we're always happy to help you with illustrations or market research or anything that you might need. For those of you that have called in, you do know that we do not have voicemail. So during business hours, you're always connected to a live individual to help you right away. Now, that being said, we aren't open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that's where the website comes in real handy. A lot of that information that you might be calling in on can be accessed through our website, especially if you're on the weekends or in the evenings with a client and you might need some information. This is a great tool for you. So I just want to make sure everyone knows that that is available at all times. This one is important. We just opened a new subsidiary to Insurance Agency Marketing Services. It is our investment advisor our agency, Insurance Agency Marketing Services Wealth Management. I'm sure everyone has been very concerned with the DOL ruling that's due to come out. Hopefully there might be a delay in that, but either way it is going to be coming eventually. And what IAMS is doing in order to overcome a lot of that is a lot of our agents are looking to get their Series 65 so that they can continue selling qualified funds under with the DOL ruling. If you are interested in talking to anyone about coming on board with that, just feel free to let me know. There should also be a poll question on your screen, and we can certainly get you in touch with Charles Hiring Jr., who is running the wealth management program and can get you more information on how we can get you set up as a Series 65 investment advisory representative through IAMS Wealth Management. Do check yes or no, and that way I can pass it over to Charles so he can be in touch with you and get you the information you need on how to get you set up in that regard. I will be leaving that poll question open for just a couple more seconds. I do encourage everyone to vote yes or no, just so I know who would like more information. We'll make sure and get that out to you promptly then. I will go ahead and keep this up for about another 5 seconds, then we will move on so we can get to the meat and potatoes of this webinar. I know everyone is looking forward to getting the information on the new annuity as well. All right, I will go ahead and close the poll question now. If you have not voted, please do so within the next couple seconds. All right, we're going to be closing it. Appreciate everyone doing that as well. We do have a retirement analyzer software in place. I just want to make sure everyone knows that. If anyone is interested, we can certainly get you more information on it. This analyzer software is available at a steeply discounted rate than what you would get if you went directly through the program. And what it does is it works well for plugging in fact finder information that your clients have. You can do this right while you're in the appointment with the client, and then it will pull up a report showing any shortfalls the client might have in their retirement planning as it stands that way. What that does for you is it opens up opportunities for you to discuss with the client how to fill in those shortfalls. And the agents that are using this do see quite an increase in the size of cases they're able to close and the number of cases they're able to close based on the fact that they have this visual available for a client. So I just want to make sure everyone knows that. If anyone's interested, do let me know. I'd be happy to get you more information on that as well and get you to our in-house person that heads up this program. One more slide before we get right into the heart of this webinar presentation. Just want to make sure everyone's aware we do have a referral bonus program or a referral program in place. As you out in the field get a lot of your business from referrals, we also get a lot of business from referrals. If you have been on with us for a while and you've been satisfied with the level of service you get through us, just want to make sure you know that if you do refer other agents our direction, you can get additional compensation. That doesn't mean that you'll be their supervising agent or anything like that. It doesn't mean that we're going to take away from that referred agent's commission to pay you or anything like that. It's just an additional compensation we pay for agents who are willing to refer other agents our direction. When they contract, you do get $50 right off the bat, and then quarterly you will receive additional compensation based on the business that they submit, and that is for the life of both your contracts. So a lot of agents do get actually thousands of dollars additional every quarter that take advantage of this program, and they don't have to do any additional work for that other than refer other agents our direction. All right. Without further ado, I am going to change the presenter at this time over to Mr. Travis Scott. Travis Scott works for Guggenheim, and he is going to be talking about the ins and outs, benefits, features, bells and whistles, if you will, of their new annuity, the Highlander. And Mr. Scott, can you hear us okay?
I can. Can you hear me fine?
We've got a good connection, and everyone who's in attendance should be seeing your screen at this time. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean. I really appreciate taking the time to reach out to the agent force and let me get on here and chat a little bit about our new fixed index annuity, the Highlander. First, you can see here on our screen, just very briefly, I just wanted to give you just a little bit of a background on Guggenheim Life and Annuity. We are a subsidiary of Guggenheim Partners, which is a behemoth in the asset management world with over $240 billion in assets under management. We began operations here in Indianapolis, Indiana in 2009. We're domiciled in Delaware, licensed in 49 states and DC as well. And we currently, actually this is as of the end of last year in 2015, we are at 11.5 billion. So we're definitely up above that now with a strong RBC ratio and solvency ratio and a good AM Best rating there at B++. I just wanted to show just a little bit of a background from us. When you call us, you're calling into wonderful Indianapolis, Indiana. We have all of our staff is right here located centrally, so it's fantastic when we need to get anything service done wise. It's all in-house, and we can expedite that process for you. So without further ado, I want to get into the Highlander fixed index annuity itself. I'm going to be very swift and brief going through this. I just want to definitely get the highlights for you and also show you a hypothetical illustration that we can run through as well, so you can see how that works, and just give you a little bit of background on myself. Actually, I'm a financial representative, worked in the individual field myself for 8 years, along with working with corporations. So I've been out there selling products much like this one. And you know, when we were building the Highlander, we kept in mind a couple of different things that we always had at the forefront. And number one is we wanted a straightforward product. We wanted something that was easy for the not only the agent to understand and implement in their practice, but also, and more importantly, the client. We felt the need to create a product that again was very straightforward, that the client could easily become comfortable with, and ultimately make the sales process smoother. And at the same time, the bullet point number 2 that we really wanted to have was that we wanted it to be very powerful. So straightforward and powerful are the two things. And we think that we've done that here with the Highlander fixed index annuity. I'm going to kind of run through some of the, you know, the general fixed index annuity and annuities themselves jargon. If you do have any questions after I go through all of this, definitely I'd be happy to answer them at the end. You know, just kind of make note of anything that you may come up with here throughout the whole topic, and we'll go from there. All right. So again, fixed index annuity, simple. You know, it really offers principal protection, tax-deferred growth, and guaranteed growth for most all fixed index annuities. You know, we really look at fixed index annuities as offering some of these things that we've kind of maybe become a little bit complacent with and don't mention to our clientele as much as we should. And, you know, thinking of just annuities in general, the tax deferral and you know, different payout options and safety of the principal, and really hammer that down when we're talking to them. Then for fixed index annuities specifically, you know, that we don't need a securities license to offer it. You know, it's a guaranteed a minimum rate of return of 0% or higher, and we can credit, you know, a portion of that index gain without any index losses. So just again, just kind of taking a step back, not necessarily product pushing, but just kind of reiterating the story behind those fixed index annuities. And we all, you know, been in the industry for a while. Hope that you understand the different ways that we do those the strategies in the fixed index annuities, utilizing participation rate, index, spread or margin, and then a cap rate is often used as well. Now, here we have listed some of the various features to the annuities in general: withdrawals, surrender charges, market value adjustment. Those are all part of the Highlander fixed index annuity. We do offer up to 10% free withdrawals after the first contract year in the Highlander, so it offers that flexibility that sometimes the clients really are looking for. Our surrender charges, we'll go in a little bit more in detail with that here in a minute, but we do start at 10% and go down for most states. And we do not charge on any RMDs or lifetime withdrawal rider withdrawals or anything of that nature. So the Highlander, again, we wanted it to be straightforward, and we think a great way of doing that is utilizing just one index that everybody knows pretty well across the industry and in the common public, and that's the S&P 500. You know, the S&P 500, I'm not going to go through all of this, but, you know, it's amazing that there's over $7.8 trillion benchmarked to the index. And those stats are actually about a year old now, so it's even more than that. So again, it's the behemoth in the industry, and there's a good reason why. It's a great index to use. It's easy for the carriers to hedge against, and we think it offers some of the greatest benefits to the client at the same time being a simplified strategy. And we do utilize 3 different strategy options here. We have a fixed index, fixed interest rate, a 1-year point-to-point with a cap, utilizing the S&P 500, and then a 1-year point-to-point with a participation rate. So just kind of a sample, if you had a 13% gain in the S&P, again, the cap rate, if you had 5% of a cap, then you would go up to that cap. And then the participation rate, if it were 45% for example, then you'd be able to grab 45% of that 13%, which comes out to that wonderful 5.85% index credit to the client's account. So very powerful. And those actually happen to be our current rates that we have right now, what we came out with here in January. This is a brand new product, and we're really excited about it. We think these rates are going to just make the product kind of fly off the shelves, if you will. When you couple in not only just the fixed rate at 2.5%, which is a great fixed rate to have in a fixed index annuity, and you put that with the 1-year point-to-point with 5% cap rate and a 45% participation rate on the S&P 500, it really starts to show some great power. And our accumulation side in our illustration software will really show that too. And we'll show that to you here after I'm done with these PowerPoint slides. It's just a great thing to put in front of your client. And again, it's easy to explain. So just again, kind of looking at what would have happened back in 2008, 2009. Obviously, in 2008, we had the huge market downturn of over 38%. And, you know, in that first example, you can see the effect of being in a fixed index. They got 0 as your hero. And then the second year, when we actually had a pretty good comeback gain, they're able to grab all 5%. So you have a client there that was all in the cap rate. They're going to be pretty content and happy over the course of those 2 years of market turmoil. And then you're going to see in the participation rate, they're even going to be happier because of their ability to grab even a higher percentage of that gain there in the second year, with at the same time still having no loss in the 2008 year. So these can be really powerful. And I do like to note that when you're utilizing just a simple cap or a participation rate on a raw index like the S&P 500, its ability to be fully invested in at that rate when the market does go up drastically is a great advantage to have over you know, some of the other options. Volatility control might play a part, and when you have those spikes, it actually pulls money out of it and throws it into cash. So a great alternative here, and again, an easy story to tell. We do offer allocations and multiple strategies at once, and you can reallocate each year. We just ask that if you keep you know, any of the assets in one of the index strategies, that it's a minimum of $2,000 to be put in there. And then one of the big first, I guess the first bullet point was our rates, the 45% participation rate and the 5% cap. The second bullet point that I'd love for you to write down, just so you can kind of keep a little chart here, is our 4% bonus on the initial account value premium that goes in there. It's a real account balance bonus of 4%. We do have a recapture schedule that you can see there. That goes over the course of the 10 years of the contract. It is a 10-year contract. And we think this is a great way to give a boost to that account balance. Again, making this thing powerful, but straightforward as well. So it's great, showing that 4% growth right off the bat and the bonus to the client. And as long as they're understanding that this is a 10-year product and they have to go through that 10 years to be able to you know, capture all of that 4%, it's a great benefit to offer right off the bat. Again, we do offer the free withdrawals of 10% after the first contract year. We also offer standard nursing home care and terminal illness and critical illness riders. Basically, those riders are going to state that if your client's confided in a nursing home or has those terminal or critical illnesses, they can access their account balance without any penalties, surrender charges, or anything of that nature. So it's nice having that feature, and that they can kind of get that out if they need to. Our death benefit on the Highlander is straightforward. It is just going to be the real account balance at that time is going to go to the beneficiaries. We also do offer the annuitization options of 5 and 5, and we can really you know, help out in doing that if they just choose to annuitize it and not have the rider. And here you actually see our surrender charge schedule. The bulk of the states is going to be at 10%, with just 1% going down each year. Again, simple for the agent to get that across to the client, and then again for the client to kind of remember and go through. And so we just, again, wanted to have everything streamlined, and we just have a few states there that have the one differentiator, which is that first year, instead of 10%, it's 9%. Everything else is the same, so not much in a variation. And I'll go into depth more on market value adjustments if you would like to at another time. I don't want to get into all of that with you guys right now. We'll definitely give you my contact information in our marketing department, and we'd be happy to answer any questions on market value adjustments at a later time individually. So next, we're going to kind of make that shift from the accumulation side of the Highlander over to our optional withdrawal, lifetime withdrawal rider. And we think this has just as much pop to the product as the accumulation side. And really, again, when we're developing this product, we wanted it to be something that you could have in your briefcase and really take to any meeting and have it be something that would hopefully pertain to that client that you're talking with. So in this lifetime withdrawal rider, number one, I think this is a big point here to make as well. The charge for the rider, again, is optional. It's 90 basis points of the real account value of the contract. And I think that is important to stress. We're seeing more and more often in the industry that the charges on the riders are going off of the benefit base, and they may look like the same percentage charge, but in all actuality, in just a few years' time, we're going to see a drastic difference in the benefit base and the real account balance. So it's great that we're able to only take that rider charge off of the account value, which does nothing but help bolster both the accumulation side and keep the benefit base side strong as well, with potential for index gains here, which I'll go into here in just a minute. We have some other great bullet points, and again, these are some big ones to write down and remember on the benefit base growth here on the lifetime withdrawal rider. The benefit base gets a 10% rider premium bonus right off the bat. So we're going to go ahead and jump that benefit base up, which is a big factor, especially when you couple in some index gains that you're going to have thanks to the 4% roll up, or sorry, 4% bonus on the real account balance side, especially for those clients that you're going to have that maybe want to have income after the first year. We definitely will allow that income to be triggered after year one of the contract. So that 10% rider premium bonus is something that definitely holds a lot of weight. And we then will roll up each year with two different stack strategies going, and that's going to be the index gains initially. Dollar for dollar is going to go from the real account side over to the benefit base side. Those get applied first, and then we roll it up by a guaranteed 4% compounding roll up. So it really has a lot of meat behind it that is going to be able to grow, we hope, very fast, especially with the index strategies that we have with the 5% cap and the 45% participation rate on the S&P. So that all sounds great. And then the next question usually is, how long do we get this benefit here for, and is it capped at any way? It's actually, it goes on for 20 years in the product. It's amazing that we're able to continue this index gain plus that 4% roll up for 20 years in the product. And then on top of that, the big kicker, and this one you want to write down and underline, is that the roll up does not stop even when income is elected. Again, the income, when it's elected, the roll up of the index gains and the 4% do not stop. And so what's that do? It's pretty simple. It gives the opportunity for the benefit base to grow even after taking income. And whenever it does grow and hits a new threshold, then that client is going to see an increase in their income from the year prior. They'll never see a decrease at any point in the contract unless they take excess withdrawals out. But if they do it by the way of just taking the lifetime withdrawal rider out, they have an opportunity for multiple gains, especially in the first 10 years or so of the contract of them taking income. So it's a really powerful tool. It's something that the initial payout factor is going to be very competitive out in the marketplace, and then you add on top of that the potential for it to grow, and it becomes a very, very strong rider. So again, with both of these, the accumulation side and the rider side, it really gives you that flexibility to kind of be like a chameleon when you're talking with your clients out there as far as what what would entice them and be great for them as far as in their best interest as well. And we do have just a little piece here I'll kind of go through very quickly. Our effect is if you take excess withdrawals out, and we see what that does to the lifetime withdrawal rider. We have the scenarios of before taking any income, kind of at the beginning stage of taking income from your lifetime withdrawals in the middle there, and then late in the taking income stage if you decided to take that out. And basically it's a you take the same percentage of what account balance you took out, and that applies to the lifetime withdrawal. So it can have a drastic effect on your income at later dates. So definitely keep that in mind, and we want to educate the clientele on that, so that hopefully they don't have to take any excess withdrawals if it's really that lifetime rider amount they're looking for. So just some quick Q&A for you. Again, like I just said, the lifetime withdrawal amount can increase even after they start taking their income. It's a great benefit to have. The lifetime withdrawal amount can decrease if you take excess withdrawals. That's the only way that that's going to go down. And the next is, can your client stop taking lifetime withdrawals and then restart them? Yes. We definitely wanted flexibility to be a part of our lifetime withdrawal rider, and it's definitely here. And what that does is they can, maybe if they decide that they no longer need income for various reasons, whether it be inheritance or what have you, they can actually put a freeze on taking that income, let the benefit base grow because the roll-ups are continuing again in the Highlanders rider. So that benefit base can continue to grow, and then whenever they do decide to trigger that income again, it's going to be the same payout factor, but it's going to be on a larger number off the benefit base. So there's definitely some benefit there for them. The death benefit, again, is just going to be the regular account balance of the accumulation side. There's no additional death benefit rider on this product. And then you can terminate the rider at any point and stop paying the 90 basis point fee. If you do terminate the rider, then we cannot reinstate it at a later date. That's the webinar portion here, and then I'm going to real quickly just kind of pull up a sample illustration for you. And we can run these illustrations here at the office. You can definitely call into IMES, and they'll be happy to assist you in getting the illustrations out. And you can also go to GuggenheimLife.com, and once you're licensed through us and an active agent, we can get you set up where you can start running illustrations off our website as well. So in this sample one, we just used 100,000 of non-qualified, and we just chose for the illustrated income start year to be 7 in this scenario. Again, we can go anytime after year 1, we can start taking income on this. So just a couple things I really wanted to point out is, one, we can have the allocation really diversified across those 3 different strategies and personalize it for the client. And if they're unhappy with one, they can change that at any contract anniversary. And so first, I always liked, when I was out selling products, I always loved starting with the guaranteed side. And if I could get a nod of approval from my prospect on this page, I knew I was in good shape. So starting off with this, a couple things that you definitely want to point out would be that 4% premium bonus that's going to directly be labeled right here on the illustration. We can see the credited interest is that little bit that we put in the fixed account on the guaranteed side. You can see the lifetime rider charge is going to be that 90 basis points off of that account value. And you can see the benefit base with that 10% bonus, and then also the guaranteed 4% roll-up. We're seeing the benefit base, even on the guaranteed side, increasing pretty rapidly, even from right at the very beginning. Then kind of looking down at it, in this scenario, again, where we decided to take that lifetime income at age 62, which is pretty young, and only in the 7th year of the contract. But even on the guaranteed side, we're looking at over 6% of the initial premium is what they're going to be getting as their lifetime income, and that's guaranteed for life on the guaranteed side of it. So this is the worst case scenario. And if I could get a nod from my potential client saying that they're okay if that is actually what happens, then I know I'm not going to have any upset calls, years later or anything that I have to really go back on. So I usually start with that, and then I go to the hypothetical side. And I usually say this is probably going to be closer to more realistic of what's going to happen based on the history of the S&P 500. But again, it's not guaranteed. So we wanted to show you both sides, but this is what I would probably focus on. And you can really see here where the benefit of both that 5% cap and the 45% participation rate really come in. When you have strong years, it really bumps it up with some great credited interest. And you can see with that interest being credited over to the benefit base. The benefit base is growing substantially as well. And what that does is it ultimately creates for a really nice payout. Again, in the 7th year, here we're over 7% of the amount that we initially put in, and that's what they're getting to begin with for the rest of their life. And then we see the benefit, the true benefit of continuing that roll up even after you take income. And that 72, almost 7,300 ends up being close to $9,000 when it's all said and done. And that's on the guaranteed side. That's going to pay out on the lifetime income. This again is the hypothetical illustration, but we're going to see that payout going to be there. It's never going to go down. It's never going to stop. Then I'd also showcase the fact that the rider charge, even though we have an increase in our income, the rider charge is actually going down. And again, that's based off of going off of the real account balance right here. As that goes down, we're going to see the charge go down as well. Ultimately, against a lot of the competition, you're going to see our account value stay pretty rich and healthy for a much longer time. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show you on the illustration side. And then also I wanted to show you some of our current rates along. We have our Highlander here again, 45% par rate, 5% cap, and then 2.5% fixed. We also do have some very competitive multi-year guaranteed annuity rates right now, which I want to just show you. We're extremely competitive both on both ends of the spectrum on our preserve there at the top, which is the 3 years at 2%, which doesn't sound too flashy, but it's a great competitor against money markets and CDs, and it's top of the industry. And then our 10-year, we're pretty happy with that 3.2%, and then 3.3 for the high band. And those do offer 10% free withdrawal at any point in the contract, and very competitive commissions and things of that nature as well on that. So with that, I'm going to throw it back to you, Sean, and open it up for some questions.
Great. Thank you very much for that information. We all really appreciate it. I do have a couple questions coming in. One of them, the client or the agent was wondering, is there any states that this product is not approved in currently?
It's a great question, and I'm glad you brought it up. We're currently only not approved in New York. So it's great that we can offer this, and then we got it set up so it's everywhere except for New York. And there's only 2 light states commissions-wise, and that's going to be Florida and California. But everywhere else is going to be full commissions as well. So we're very happy about that.
Excellent. All right. So all states but New York, that's good. I have one coming in. They want to know, what is the minimum guaranteed rate on the annuity itself?
So there's usually a couple questions here, so I'll answer both of them and make sure I cover it. So the minimum guarantees that we have for our actual participation rates, let me get back to the slide here. Actually, I need to get to the, but it's going to be 1% for the fixed rate. So right now it's at 2.5, but the minimum is 1%. And then our minimum participation rate is going to be 10%, and then it's also 1% for the cap rate is the minimum. If you're talking about the minimum guaranteed contract value, then we're going to be at 87.5% to start with the contract, and it goes up 1% each year after that.
All right, sounds good. Let's see. Is there this is kind of a question actually I'm throwing out there. I want to make sure everyone's aware of it. We have a lot of agents on this webinar that are already contracted with Guggenheim through us, and they're just looking at the new product. Is there going to be an additional product training module that they need to complete for the new product?
There is, and thank you for bringing that up. If they just simply go to GuggenheimLife.com, right there in the middle of the page when you first log on there, it's going to say agent/IMO information. You click on that and just go straight to the Highlander training option there tab, and you can go do the training right online, and it'll automatically give you kind of an award for getting through it, and once you get through all of that, then you'll be able to start offering the product.
Excellent. All right. I do have another question coming in It's actually on the Preserve MIGA product on the 10%
Hmm.
free withdrawal privilege. Is that available within the first year or only after the first year contract anniversary?
It's only after the first year of the contract. We do, if they elect to have interest-only withdrawals, that can begin in the first year, but the 10% has to start year 2 and moving forward.
Perfect. I believe that answers the question that was posted. I do not see any other questions coming in. So at this time, I'd like to thank you again, Mr. Scott, for taking the time to run today's webinar. Any final remarks?
No, just other than really appreciate the continued business through IMES, and we're really happy to have the partnership. And again, right now, I believe on your screen you can see our contact information. Our marketing team here is second to none. We're happy to help anytime that we can. We answer the phone right when you call, and you're going to be able to get answers quickly and effectively. And then also, definitely, last but not least, we have created here at our marketing department a comparison binder, basically, that I've done that for both multi-year guaranteed annuities and fixed index annuities. At any time, if you're curious as to maybe a product that you currently offer and you want to compare it to the Highlander, we'll be happy to go straight to that page of that product, and we can give you an apples-to-apples comparison. It's highlighted for any of our internal reps here that can do that as well. And it's a great tool just to be able to understand, where different products, really shine, and where, we may be beating them out, and where you have to rethink that. And we also update that with rates every single month as well. So it's a great way to stay in tune, and we love having agents call in and asking us to look up in the book.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you again. And thanks also to everyone who is in attendance today. We do appreciate you taking the time out of field to listen in on this great information. I'll be in touch with everyone who is in attendance, make sure all follow-up questions are answered, and see what we can do as far as running illustrations or getting you set up on this product so we can get you up and running with it. Thank you, everyone, for the time today, and we'll be concluding the webinar now. Thank you. Bye.